Welcome to the Powerful Comicsman podcast. This is Jerald Dorado, and we are continuing our 40 Life Wisdom at 40 podcast series. We are now at number 18, but before we dive in, let me just tell you about Miucha Lux Cakes. That's our little home-based online pastry shop. We are at Instagram. We're on Instagram and Facebook. Check us out at hello.miucha. That's at HELLO.MIUCCIA. We have the best vegan treats, best vegan desserts, mostly sweets, and cakes, cookies, donuts, and just check it out. There's a lot more surprises. Hello.miucha on Instagram and Facebook. All right, so we are now at number 18, counting up to 40 until my 40th birthday. 40 Life Wisdom at 40 on the Powerful Comicsman podcast. At number 18, make your anger a prize that almost nobody deserves. Yeah, so I think your anger is very precious. I think I think that is um I uh I realized this when I read the quote, the saying attributed to Confucius. He said something like, "He who angers you conquers you." And basically that's it. If you're angry, if somebody angers you, then he would have leverage over you. He would he would conquer your mind. He may not be able to physically chain you or alam mo yun, hold you captive, but as long as you keep that anger in your heart, in your mind, as long as that person will live rent free in your head, for as long as you allow it to be, then you are conquered. Sad to say. And being conquered is most of the time you're angry to towards a person because probably your enemies, or you hate that person's guts, or you are in conflict with that individual. And if you are in that situation, um if you are angry, and that anger, it's okay to be pissed. There's, of course, there are levels of anger. The I Anger is actually a basic emotion that is ingrained, and I would assume all creatures on earth that has a brain. I think that is one of the most primal emotions ba, or it could be, I think it can be called instincts. I'm not a scientist that studies these things, but if you remember the the movie Inside Out, this is that's based on psychology. You have the emotions there, where joy, um, disgust, anger, fear, sadness. Yun yung nilagay nila. There's a few more which is not relevant to this topic. But anger is one of them. Diba? Anger is actually a biological defense mechanism for a lot of species that can process anger. Diba? If your brain is complex enough. Kasi if you get hurt in nature, let's say you're a cat, 'di ba? You're a cat. He's not gonna be angry. A cat will not be angry if you call him, if you insult the cat, okay? Because it's not gonna understand that, obviously. But if you hurt him, the cat, then it will get angry, diba? And it will attack you, defend itself, or run away. Same thing with humans, but of course, our much larger brains made it a lot more complex. Hindi lang yung physical offenses ang nakakagalit sa akin. Minsan, alam mo yun, you can get angry just by seeing somebody that you don't like or reading something that you don't like. You get outraged, diba? Especially now in the internet. You get you see a billboard you don't like, angry, diba? Bisit, nakakabisit to. You hear a song that you think is baduy or naiinis ka dun sa artist, you get angry. You read a tweet, you're offended, diba? And those things, whether you like it or not, whether you would like to admit it, it consumes you. And sometimes you'd think this is let's say mga tweets, parang you're politically aware at saka active. I would see some people kasi this is not this anger is does not only apply to individuals yung setup na you as a person and then another person or group, you're angry with them. This could be you're angry about situations, you're angry about events, you're angry about life, diba? You can be angry about anything. You can be angry for no reason. Of course, mental health problems exist, and I don't know, maybe it could affect that as well. In those cases, I would highly suggest that you seek professional help. But in this case, I'm talking about anger that you can still manage, diba? Na if you're gonna, kasi you get angry when you allow yourself to be angry. Kasi you always have a choice as well. Let's say you can process. It is important to in managing anger, at least in my case. Kumbaga, project what would happen, and project, have distinction on what could happen and what actually happened or happens. I think that's how I manage my emotions. One thing that how I manage it. Let's say somebody cuts you in the highway. You're driving, di ba? Bad trip ka. Nagulat ka, di ba? Nagulat ka. You're cussing the other driver, and he's just speeding away. Tapos na, kasi most of the time ganoon naman ang nangyayari, di ba? I think it's rare to naaabot kayo na at least to most people. Some people are more prone to that than the others. I think the anger management issues for those people is way more deep. Kailangan na ng professional advice siguro ng mga ganun. Pero if you are I'm talking about the cases that, alam mo yun, somebody cuts you in the highway, and then you get pissed, and that ruins your day, which ruins the days of the people around you, basically, 'di ba? Kung sino man yung kasama mo sa kotse, may pupuntahan kayo, magde-date kayo, kunyari if you're with your special someone, if you're with your family, 'di ba? And just because somebody cut you, your mood will shift. You would almost be inconsolable, but because that can happen. That happens to people. I know people who alam mo yun, when they're not mad, they're the sweetest people on earth. The moment they get pissed, it's like it feels like it's not gonna end, diba? And sometimes you can just what, dude, let go of it, diba? That person na nag-cut sa'yo don't even remember you, diba? And so that is the person that angers you. That person has conquered you. The precious anger, the precious emotions that you have. Kasi when you get angry, ang dami mong commodities na mga nawawala sa'yo. Literally. That's why I say, figuratively and literally, precious ang anger mo. Kasi it can affect your productivity. So, if you're gonna be working and you're angry, mas, mas less productive ka. Kasi, yung enthusiasm mo is not there. Your concentration will be affected. If you are Another thing is if you are it could cost you relationships, 'di ba? If you're gonna go to a meeting, then you're angry, 'di ba? then alam mo yun, that meeting could easily be jeopardized if you cannot control your anger. And also, it could be taxing to your health. 'Di ba? If you're alam mo yun, if you have if you're hypertensive, you have high blood pressure, 'di ba? Um it will make your condition worse. And those things accumulate over time. 'Di ba? Every time na mag-spike up yung blood pressure mo, that's another coin added dun sa alkansya mo ng heart attack. And you don't want that. So aside, and also your time, your mental health will be affected. You're gonna punish yourself. Diba? It's another saying is about being angry or hate, diba? Hating something or someone, especially if they're not aware of it. If you're angry, if you hate, let's say a politician, kahit no matter how important you think your cause is. Let's say you hate the president or you hate someone, a celebrity, 'di ba? Kasi may taong ganun 'di ba? There are people who just, in my opinion, waste their time on these useless things. Uh if you're gonna be hating that person, they're not aware that you hate them. They just go on with their lives. So if let's say you hate, let's who's the popular celebrity now? I don't know, maybe Kim Kardashian, 'di ba? Or I don't know, Kim Kardashian does not, hindi na the hate on the Kardashian isn't as bad as it was before kasi. Pero let's say you have something like that and you're pissed. Those celebrities are living like queens, living like kings. If you hated Justin Bieber, he was living the life. And you're in your room hating, and alam mo yun, the celebrity, kahit kupal pa yan kasi at the end of the day, ano bang pakialam mo? 'Di ba? What do you care? It's their life, 'di ba? But it's just a small example, and those are things that you do not have control. If they screw up, it's on them, 'di ba? If they screw up, they're not gonna seek you out to apologize to you personally, even if that's the president. Of course, there are you can still express your disappointment, especially on things that matter socially. But to have but to incubate nurture a hate na every time, every day you wake up to check your Facebook or Twitter to find something to get angry about. I don't know, man, but I think you need to get to find something that's more productive in your life. You would need to reassess, kasi those things, although they're important, you don't have much say to it. Of course, you can argue that collectively, when it comes to politics, you can do something. That is true. But I'm talking on a personal level here. Diba? Your well-being. Your well-being is at stake. Diba? You can still you can still achieve change in government or whatever situation that you want changed without taking that poison. Kasi yung sinasabi ko kanina, another saying is anger is like drinking poison. Diba? Hate is like drinking poison and expecting the person that you're angry with dies. Kasi most of the time, hindi nila alam na galit ka. And ako personally, there have been people who had been really angry with me. Diba? I'm gonna digress if I'd go there, if tell the story. Maybe I'd tell those stories on other episodes. But personally, kasi most of the time, people will think they're right anyway. Diba? They're gonna take their sides. Diba? So even if may galit sila sa akin, natatawa pa ako lalo sa kanila. Diba? This is what this I think this is also based on what I observed. Those who get angry easily, kasi some people think because you're angry with the person you're angry with, they think it's a weapon. They think they're doing that person harm. Diba? Although if you are parang kakalat ka ng chismis, those can cause harm to the other person. But anger itself doesn't. Diba? If you're just angry na parang you're gonna parang if you express anger and you're not doing anything that is of consequence to me, then it's not an effective offensive weapon to anyone, especially to those who are mentally strong. I think those people who resort or think like that, well, I'm not a professional, I'm not a psychologist, but based on the things that I observed, they get angry or they think they're doing harm to other people with their anger because it worked to them. It worked on them rather. Maybe maybe kasi anger could be interpreted as as the removal of love. That could be a definition of anger. Eh. You love someone. This is a manipulation tactic. You can be warned about this, diba? Let's say you're in a relationship, because actually those are the people lang naman talaga that really matters when they're angry with you, diba? We're gonna talk about manipulation more in the next episode, but uh, to discuss it a little bit, anger. If you remove the love, then that hurts, and maybe yung mga I know some people who are so bitter. They experienced when they were kids na parang pinapalaya sila ng parents nila, 'di ba? Of course, hindi totoo 'yun. Pero if you're a kid and your parents tell you lumayas ka, that's gonna that's gonna leave a deep mark, and you would remember that pain that is so effective against you, diba? That kind of pain, and you would think when you're angry, when you're disappointed with someone, since it was used effectively on you would think it would have the same effect to others. And that's sad. I think if you're feeling like that, or you know somebody who acts like that, I don't know. You have you have the option to help them, or you if that's you, then you would need to resolve it. You would need to listen to the next episodes, because I'm gonna tackle those things. Forgiveness. That is the key. Gonna talk about them next. But to summarize, anger. Most people don't care when you're angry with them. That's just the truth. Because most of the time, people think they're right anyway, and you're the one who's uh, who's wrong, and you're being unreasonable, and you're alam mo yun, you're a drama queen or king. They're gonna pull out all the reasons in the book to make them believe that you are the one who's in the wrong. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. Maybe you're actually right and you have the right to be angry. And the thing is, I'm not saying do not be angry, because like I said earlier, anger is a natural defense mechanism for our species. 'Di ba? There are benefits of being angry. When you're angry, pag nakita ng tao na galit ka, they will think na okay, nakakagalit pala 'yon. Kasi it will make you stop and think if tama ba yung gagawin mo, 'di ba? If somebody expresses anger, 'di ba? If you're we know this when we were kids na pag may inaasar ka, pag nakikita mong napikon na, most of the time titigil ka ng mang-asar kasi napikon na eh, 'di ba? For whatever reason, it's not as fun anymore uh, to keep kasi na-achieve mo na yung kung gusto mo asar, or you're gonna you're gonna feel sorry. No, okay, sorry. Uh, I didn't think that would affect you as much as you did. It did pala. So um you can make people think twice when you're angry. and express that it is a very effective tool to send a message na what you're doing to me, I don't like it. Diba? Di ko gusto. Stop right now. That is the message of anger. And it's important. Diba? And I'm not saying not to feel annoyed. I just, what I'm saying is do not let it consume you. Do not, do not hold on to a grudge as long as you can. Kumbaga, if you after after feeling it, throw it away as fast as you can, 'di ba? Learn from the experience. Let's say somebody is yun nga, let's say bastos sa'yo, binabastos ka, 'di ba? Naasar ka ng somebody that you just met, 'di ba? Parang he's being an ass to you. Then okay, you get pissed naturally, 'di ba? Because it has happened to me several times na parang this guy thinks who does this guy thinks he is, 'di ba? May mga ganun eh, parang tapos but then again, after feeling that, then just let it go. Okay. But mark that person as, oh, this is a guy who's an asshole. I'm not gonna think about him anymore. But whenever I see him, diba, whenever he's around, I would be prepared. Diba? I know what the tendency is. It's your choice if how you gonna react. Pero you remember kung anong potential niya to annoy you. That's about it. Diba? If he's not doing anything, then leave him be. Of course, you can always, let's say you get disrespected enough, you would need to stand up for yourself as well. Diba? You would, that's one way to relieve anger to begin with. Diba? Kasi if you stand up for yourself, somebody's bullying you, inaasar ka, and you're having none of it, then tell him to his face, no, dude, we're not cool. I just met you. What are you doing? Diba? You don't have to be so to get physical. Just what are you doing? Who do you think you are? I don't even know you. Diba? Just give him the message that you're no pushover. Because bullies, they want to get away with what they do with the least amount of work. Diba? They're not gonna bully somebody who fights back, who pushes back, even a little bit. They're gonna if they, kasi there's a lot of people around, they're gonna find somebody who wouldn't. Diba? That's what's gonna happen. So if you are offering resistance, you are not the ideal target to be bullied. Diba? Kasi they want, you get what I mean. So yeah, just stand up for yourself and do not, kumbaga, save yourself from thinking. Kasi sometimes you get angry because wala kang nagawa. 'Di ba? Yun yung isang masakit na nangyayari. I wasn't able to defend myself. I do not have the capability to defend myself. So again, this will fall into building character. This will again fall into enriching yourself so that nobody would even think about picking on you. It will take a really special, highly confident person to have the to even think about picking on you. Diba? Diba? Nobody's gonna pick on Superman. Only people like Darkseid would pick on Superman. Diba? You will need a badass um o super villain, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Parang a regular thug in the streets would not even dare touch Superman. You get what I mean? 'Di ba? If you are getting picked if Superman gets picked up, gets bullied by thugs in the streets, then that means they don't respect him. 'Di ba? So if you get bullied every time, I'm sorry to say, but you are they don't respect you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They think you're an easy target. So let's uh, let's do something about it. That's why a lot of UFC champions, the best martial artists in the world, even GSP, George St. Pierre, considered to be the best martial artist, oh, at least one of the best martial artists to walk the earth. He was bullied before, and now who would dare bully him? It's because they did something about it. Instead of being angry, cowering in fear, and just nurturing hate, he did something about it. He worked on himself, gained confidence, gained strength, gained mental strength, and courage to face adversity, so that the need for anger and keep anger was tremendously lessened. All right. So again, your anger is a very precious thing. It's worth its worth is in diamonds. Think of it as parang napaka laking privilege. It's a huge privilege for me to be angry with you. Diba? And, diba? It's, think of it that way. Na it's such an honor that you don't want to give to low life people. Nobody deserves it. Nobody deserves your anger. But of course, there are let's say people like let's say Hitler comes up. You can be angry with him, but that's why I have almost in parentheses in the title of this entry. Kasi, but ideally, if you do not have a life-changing, world-changing, life or death situation kind of thing, nobody deserves your anger. Not because you're such a badass, but it's because, well, you're also a badass if you have this. It's gonna become like a superpower to you. You will be you will you will be invincible, diba? Kasi anger, some people mistake it as strength, as a show of strength. While maybe in animals it could be, diba? If you anger a lion, that's he's gonna show his strength. But if you're angry about a tweet, then I don't have much. I don't think that's strength, diba? If you're angry about Justin Bieber, I don't I don't know what to think about you, diba? Then it's you have to again be self-aware and catch yourself being like this, and be humble and what's honest. So Give it only to those who deserve it. And make that price very, very high. Kumbaga parang binigyan mo ng gold medal sa Olympics, ng Nobel Peace Prize, ano pa, valedictorian, or basta, it's make it way more than those kinds of awards, so that nobody deserves it, because that is poison. Nobody is good enough for you, is good enough to make you drink your own poison. I think you get what I mean already, so I'm gonna stop with my analogies. 40 life wisdom at 40. Share this episode. That will greatly help this series and podcast. If you appreciate everything that I just said, follow the Powerful Comicsman podcast. The links are below. All right. So we have 22 more coming up. This is 40 life wisdom at 40. At number 18, make your anger a prize that almost nobody fucking deserves.